Okay, I'm going to show you how I put on my Terial Magic. I have here a 45-inch square of fabric for the potting shed. So I'm just going to loosely put it in my sink, and I'm going to actually get this on to spray. Let's see, here it comes. And I'm going to spray this on. If you get tired of this, you can actually pour it on, but I start out with the spraying it. And I'm actually saturating it pretty well, actually very well. I can actually see it puddling up right here. And so I'm really trying to make sure that I get this fabric completely covered. So I'm going to flip it over to the dry side, and I'm going to spray it right here. Adjust that just a second. There we go. Now as I'm spraying this, the whole purpose of the Terial Magic is to get the fabric as stiff as possible so that when you embroider doing multi-hooping, your fabric doesn't stretch out of shape so that one hooping will actually meet up with the other. So this looks pretty wet right here. I can see it again puddling up, and you lift it up, and I'm just going to rub it together for a second and see. See, the second I put it all together, it's actually, I can feel dry spots again. You can also see dry spots on this one. And by the way, if I got any on those sides because I have a clean sink, I'm drying it up with the mopping it up with my fabric because I'm not wasting any of this. Now, you know, I've had some people have some complaints about this. One, it's hard to pump. They say, I don't think it's that hard, but you know, if it is, pour it instead. You don't have to pump. And then another thing is, please don't dilute it. I've had a couple gals come to class and they had diluted it, and it's as if they didn't use any. It's not stiff enough. The whole purpose of this is I need it to be stiff. Very, very, very stiff, because the stiffer it is, the actual better your embroidery is going to be, because you're taking the stretch out of the fabric, and that's what we're trying to do, is get the stretch out. So again, I'm going to switch it up here, check it up here one more second. Let's just see. It looks like we're starting to really get that in. I'm going to flip that over for a second here, trying to air fluff it so I can see what hasn't gotten any of this juice yet. And that is looking like that's covering it now pretty well. It doesn't, you know, this doesn't take too long, but it does take a concentrated effort, because I do want you to get all of it saturated. In case you don't understand that word, it actually means saturated is completely soaked in it. You know, it doesn't have to be drippy, although sometimes it is actually. You get it that far, and that would be great. Again, I'm going to mop up that sink. I'm going to kind of rub these pieces together just to see if I have any other dry spots in there. I would rather have too much on than too little on. In fact, you can't get too much on, so I would rather have there be too much than too little. You definitely can do too little, because you need to have this completely done. A great way to check it out is to hold it up. I won't do it over here because it's over the sink and you can't really see it. I don't think, and look for dry spots to see if you have any. I can see right in here I have a few dry spots. But you want to make sure all your dry spots get hit. Like I say, you can't put on too much, and please don't dilute it. Diluting it defeats the whole entire purpose of it. I think I have it right there. I'm going to mop up my sink for just a second. Let me rub that in, rub it into itself so that everything is completely coated. When this is done, I'm just going to put this outside over a chair and let it dry. It takes about 6 to 8 minutes for it to really dry up. Not in this weather. You know, well, in Arizona, it takes about 2.5 minutes, but I was tripling the time for here in Portland. But we'll see. I've got a few more spots here. I mean, you can hang this over your shower rod. If you have a shower rod, you can. I usually, in my sewing room, I just put it on my big wool mat. I have a big, huge, long wool mat, and I just kind of hang it off, and it kind of dries. I have a fan going on overhead. The fan dries it, and it doesn't really take too long to do. I think that is it right there. Yep, that's our guy. Oh, look, 2 spots. Darn it. Try and get those. I'm using grunge fabric, by the way. This is, I think it's called Vanilla Grunge. And it has a slight green tint to it. And it does have white spots kind of in it, white areas of dye in it. And so sometimes it's hard to tell if you've gotten if it's dry or if it's just the white dye. But that's it. That looks it. That's perfect. Wipe up my sink with it. Make sure there's nothing left over. And I'm ready to go hang this piece out, hang it to dry, and then we will iron it and take it from there. Thanks.